I'm feeling pretty good right now. As a matter of fact,
When I woke up this morning, I was feeling pretty dangerous.
happy holidays everyone, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving with your families. Since the holidays are now in full swing, I wanted to do my part and give you all a gift. I just wish I could give you something tangible, but I hope by the end of our time together, I leave you with some thoughts to ponder, a few realizations, and maybe you're a little pissed off. Like you, as I watch more and more anime, I develop certain show preferences. I like certain types of characters, and I turn a blind eye to certain stereotypes, and most importantly, above all else in my opinion, I have an open mind. Because you really can't watch anime without one. I mean, imagine trying to watch something like ReZero, Arrow Manga Sensei, or JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I know it's a weird grouping of anime, but you get my point. Without the nuance you pick up from watching anime over time. So in this video, I want to fire off some takes, you can decide if they're hot takes or not, that I have had since I started watching anime. I know basically everyone who is watching this video has more time in the anime game than me, but hey, this is my video. You saw the thumbnail and clicked on it, so deal with my ignorance, or be enlightened by my observations. Oh, by the way, spoiler alert for the anime I will be talking about in this video. Okay, let's start off with something light. I love Food Wars, Shokugeki no Soma. The idea of Hell's Kitchen times 1,000, all in a high school package, was really fun to watch. It's also the closest thing I've ever seen to a battle shonen, without it actually being a battle shonen. Plus, it had some of the most creative ways to show fan service in anime, until they just said F it and basically went full fan service. The entire Nakiri family is absolutely wild, but let me get back on topic. I want to talk about the show's main character, Soma Yukihira. If you really think about it, Soma isn't that great of a chef.
What? What?
Well, I mean, he is one of the best chefs on the planet, or else he wouldn't be attending Totsuki Academy. Now hold on, I know I'm being really contradictory here, but first, here's some context. Soma is an amazing chef, and some of the feats he has in the show are noteworthy, but as a chef on an individual basis, what has he actually done? As part of the 92nd generation of Totsuki students, there are always amazing chefs everywhere you look. However, his wins, so to speak, are more flash than substance. Also, he really enjoys pulling crap out of his butt, just like you did last year when you forgot to get a gift for your grandma. Yeah, that last minute run to Target didn't really cut it, huh? Remember how sad she was? You didn't forget this year, right? To get back on track, I can already guess some of you don't believe me. Here are some of Soma's major accomplishments. He won back Takumi's prized knife, the Mezzaluna, back. He saved his dorm from demolition when he beat Aizen. He beat Akira in order to not get expelled during the promotion exams. And he beat the Nakiri wayward son Shiba Asahi in the Blue tournament. I know what some of you are thinking. Didn't he beat Central? Technically yes, but he didn't really beat Central. Erina did. He just threw the lob for Erina. Also, he didn't really make it easy on her. What about when he beat Terunori at the Moon Festival? No, he didn't do it alone. Megumi and the ultimate copy chef Subaru helped him out. Man, Megumi has some of the best victory moments in the series, even though she never really won anything. Fun fact, did you know that Megumi actually has the most Shokugeki losses of any character in the series? But this ain't about her. Also, Soma's biggest victories come with a caveat, like when he lost to Asahi the first time and rather handedly before he beat him again in the Blue tournament like I mentioned earlier. But that was only the semifinals of the Blue tournament. He lost to Erina off screen in the finals. Akira was literally being blackmailed and threatened when he was a part of Central. So Akira wasn't really in his best state for his second battle with Soma. Hell, even the main declaration he made in the show, which was to make Erina say his food was delicious, he couldn't even do that. Yes, I checked in the manga too, and nope, he didn't do it there either. Plus, if you really want to keep it real, Soma never beat his dad. Wasn't the record damn near 0 to like 500? Am I nitpicking in some of the things I've said?
Hell yeah, absolutely.
but I just wanted to highlight what Soma has actually done. You can go on YouTube and find a more comprehensive deep dive on Soma's character. That's not what I'm doing here. Obviously, the show wouldn't be as good if Soma won all the time, especially given the show's premise, but I wish he had more substantial wins. Did that get you riled up? Oh, don't worry, I'm just getting started. Now let's really get into the nitty-gritty. I have a very love-hate relationship with Oreimo, aka my little sister can't be this cute. I watched this show very early in my weeb career, and it was the first time I realized that anime was built different. Now the show is actually pretty good. With good love interest, Kuroneko is the best girl though, and a good look into otaku culture, even though I feel it's very stereotyped. However, the show's ultimate goal is one that I cannot agree with for obvious reasons. Here's a hint. There are a few characters in all of fiction that I genuinely hate, more than Kirino. Throughout the entire anime, she mainly treats Kyosuke like berates him constantly, humiliates him, basically forces him to take part in her hobby, low-key kind of grooming him by the way, and she is literally the worst kind of tsundere. She is the main reason I hate tsundere characters. I'm getting off topic here. Now let's get to what I'm actually talking about. So as the show ends, Kyosuke picks Kirino.
Surprise, surprise.
Even though she is literally the worst choice in the book for legal, moral, and obvious reasons. Even though he really had something great going with Kuroneko, but she blew her chance.
Did you do this, you son of a bitch?
Technically, she gave away her chance. But, I'm getting off topic. Okay, so Kyosuke and Kirino start dating, right? Of course, it's in secret for obvious reasons. He even proposes to her. Mind you, Kirino is his actual little sister. No, not that sibling BS we see in other anime. They decide to be a couple until graduation. Oh yeah, did I forget to mention that Kyosuke's graduation is from high school and Kirino's graduation is from middle school and she's about to go to high school? Whatever. They date for 3 months, and until their mock wedding where they embrace for the final time and officially end their relationship and go back to being normal siblings, everything goes pretty smoothly. And it sounds like everything's wrapped up, right? The final scene of the anime, Kyosuke still kisses her after the end of their arrangement when they go to Akihabara. Yeah, it's on the cheeks.
Pause!
Well, that's in the anime. He has a different target in the light novel.
Let me tell you something.
You know they're gonna keep messing around and eventually cross a line that shouldn't be crossed, right? The problem with this ending is that nothing is resolved. Sure, their relationship is over, but they still see each other every day. Since they live in the same house, they are still attracted to each other, and it doesn't take a genius to know where this is going. Also, you can't find this ending through official means. The second season ends abruptly with a flashback episode. You can either buy the DVD or go through less official channels to watch the actual ending to both the first and second season. As I started watching the anime, I always kind of believed that they wouldn't do it. But to actually see it happen truly left me shocked and speechless. Thinking back on it now, this only makes me feel even worse. This one really hurts. I love Demon Slayer. Season 2 was absolutely amazing. In fact, episodes 8 through 11 may be the greatest stretch of anime episodes I have ever seen. However, we were lied to, which is a shame because I remember everything about watching those episodes. I felt everything. I remember getting excited as our main player started fighting. I remember being curious when I heard Daki scream and immediately realizing Gyotaro ain't no joke. I remember being excited when Inosuke started running away with Daki's head, then getting shocked and scared when Gyutaro stabbed him in the chest to get his sister's head back. I was on the edge of my seat watching Gyutaro talk mess to Tanjiro while everything was on fire around them and all hope was lost. Then Tanjiro turns the tables on him and I was right there screaming at the top of my lungs, hoping Tanjiro could get the kill. Tengen comes up clutch as Tanjiro is on the brink of death. Zenitsu, who has been literally sleeping for the majority of the fight, had one last push in him, and Inosuke comes out of nowhere to seal the win. And to top it off, I was in my feels watching Daki and Gyutaro's backstory.
Oh, chills. Literal chills.
It was number 5. Number 5 killed my brother.
Oh my god, I forgot about that part.
Oh man, I need to calm down. I'm literally sweating right now. But I have some bad news. Everything I just described, as great as it was a lie, or at least an amazing misdirection. I want to take you back to the first episode, and do you remember how the show presented itself? After selling charcoal the day before and spending the night in town, comes home to see his family murdered, but his sister Nezuko was still alive. Unfortunately, Nezuko was turned into a demon, and after an encounter with Giyu Tomioka, the water Hashira of the Demon Slayer Corps, Tanjiro begins his journey to turn his sister back into a human while battling the demon menace. A pretty interesting premise, right? The problem here is, after all the setup that the first season does towards Tanjiro's overall goal, nothing is done to build on the great foundation at all in season 2. Where are Lady Tamayo and Yushiro? Has there been any progress at all with their work? I don't know, it could only change the entire course of the war. When and how did Nezuko get a new transformation? If you really think about it, she's basically treated like a Pokemon. She was only there for a badass fight, plus acting as a pseudo healer for everyone, but that's it. Other than that, she just stays in her box. When it comes to Demon Slayer, I approach the series a little bit different. I've only read the manga up to where the anime finished, so I have no idea what's coming up next, and I really like the decision I made, and I plan to do this more with more anime in the future. In all honesty, I only started thinking this way after I saw a video by the YouTuber Inakyu. Hopefully I said that right, where she does a more comprehensive review of the season, including some points that I mentioned. I'll put a link to the video in the description below, but I'm really disappointed with how much Nezuko took a step back character-wise this season. Demon Slayer was supposed to be different based on its initial premise, but at least by the end of season 2, Demon Slayer was just another battle anime. It's a damn good one, but I, like some people, thought it was going to be more than that. Maybe things will change next season. Now this just blows my mind. Why isn't Fire Force mentioned in the same breath as the other high-profile New Age shonen? You know the ones I'm talking about: Demon Slayer, My Hero Academia, Boruto, Black Clover, and Dr. Stone, just to name a few. In my opinion, I believe Fire Force is already better than Black Clover and My Hero Academia at the very least. You guys already know how I feel about one of My Hero Academia's most popular characters. I'm sitting here racking my brain trying to figure this out. Now the easy answer is the powers that be in the anime industry plus us the viewers, just like the other shows I mentioned better. But what did those shows have that Fire Force doesn't?
Seriously, someone explain it to me.
Let's look at the stats, so to speak. Number 1, a compelling main character. I would put Shinra Kusakabe above Deku. Like most shonen protagonists, Shinra's backstory revolves around loss. When Shinra was 5 years old, he lost both his mother and little brother in a fire, and like you'd expect, the events of that tragic incident affected him tremendously. Ironically, like Deku, Shinra has always been fascinated by heroes and is incredibly fascinated by the concept. When Shinra entered his teenage years, he enrolled in the Special Fire Force Training Academy with the hope that he could figure out the truth behind his family's deaths and save people from experiencing the same tragedy he did. Also, the shock of his mother's death caused him to develop a nervous laugh, and whenever he feels nervous, he smiles. His smile has caused him to be shunned by others, as they thought of him as a devil who actually killed his family. There is so much more I could say about him, but I want you to watch the show for yourself and witness all his greatness. Plus, I bet you'll love his interactions with Iris just as much as I do. Number 2. A compelling narrative. What starts out as a whodunit mystery regarding the fiery deaths of Shinra's mother and little brother turns into this world-spanning conspiracy with religious fanaticism, terrorism, cults, science of the evil variety, and fiery zombies that come in a number of varieties. Shinra's family's deaths are just a small but vital part of this narrative. Also, it turned out that Shinra's little brother is still alive, so there's that. I really love how the show uses religion, with it clearly drawing inspiration from Christianity. I think Fire Force's narrative is even better than Black Clover's, and I still feel that way even though the final Socratic sibling has appeared. But I can't lie, since he appeared, Black Clover has been all gas and no brakes. Number 3, a great cast of characters. Starting with our previously mentioned MC Shinra Kusakabe, his Sasuke aka rival Arthur Boyle, whose power works kinda like Marvel Comics Gladiator. Basically, the more confident Gladiator is, the more powerful he becomes. For Arthur, instead of confidence, his power grows the more knightly he feels. Arthur really believes he is a medieval knight of sorts, and his backstory, very tragic by the way. There's Iris, who serves as that character that you find in almost every anime that you just want to protect at all costs, like Charmy and Black Clover. Plus, she has a huge part to play in the show's narrative, but I don't want to spoil anything. Then there's Maki. Hey, Maki, you need to chill, girl. Her fine ass looks aside, don't sleep on her, because she will put you to sleep. That's just a few members of Company 8 of the Special Fire Force. There's the badass captain of Company 7, Benimaru, and the captain of Company 5, Princess Hibana.
Done.
God damn! I'm pretty sure I would let Hibana do things to me I wouldn't let a real woman do.
Yep, that's me. You're probably wondering how I ended up in this situation.
Do you guys remember who I said was my favorite waifu? Yeah, well, Hibana is number 2 on that list. The animation is great. The fights are amazing. I mean, what else do you need? Fan service? Fire Force has it. Hell, there's a whole character who's just basically fan service. How's the soundtrack? Straight fire. I can't really think of anything else the show is missing. I don't know, the dub? The dub's great. So you have no excuses. I've actually started reading the manga, and I'm having a great time so far. So yeah, go get you some Fire Force. Other than the final arc that is going on right now in the manga, it is my opinion that the Devil Banishers / Believers arc is the second best arc in the entire Black Clover story. For my manga readers, the Devil Banishers / Believers arc, I really should find a better way to say that, is entirely anime only. Actually, I don't even know if it's long enough to even be called an arc, but it is entirely filler. I love this arc, so to speak, because it showed the immediate consequences of the elf reincarnation arc, the fact that a devil was behind the near destruction of the Clover Kingdom, and of course, there are people who be extremely scared of the devil power Asta has, but there will also be people who are crazy enough to want that power as well. No one besides us readers and viewers know how Asta got his power, and this arc really plays with that concept. The arc also showcases the problem that was always brewing underneath the surface. That problem was the inequality that existed between the different social classes. Now, is this arc perfect? No. It's an episode or two too long. Also, the fact that this arc is entirely filler will mean that nothing substantial will result from it. But I was still able to suspend my disbelief until the ending. I really don't want to spoil this arc, so basically the main villain group was able to store up a lot of peasants and commoners in the Clover Kingdom into leaving the kingdom altogether. I'm really dumbing this down, by the way. Basically, when the mass of humanity gets to the border between the Clover and Spade Kingdom, the magic captains pull up and talk no jutsu the peasants and commoners into going back to their lives, leaving the main villain group by themselves to keep moving forward down their dangerous path. What really amazes me about this arc is how much it still resonates with me. I can't say that for the rest of the anime. If I'm being 100% honest, and like I've mentioned before, I think the Black Clover anime is average at best, with only 2 moments in the entire anime standing out to me. The first is the aforementioned Devil Banisher / Believers arc, and the second is a moment that most Black Clover fans will probably name off the top of their head, when Asa lost the use of his arms for a bit in season 2. The only thing that I wish the arc had was some lasting consequences. Maybe we could get a quick cameo of the Devil Believers when the anime eventually comes back to finish off the story. Also, the fact that everyone just takes the magic captains at their word and just goes back to living their lives is really dumb to me. There should have at least been a segment of the people who tell the magic captains to kick rocks and go with the Devil Believers, which would let the arc have an even bigger impact on viewers. Okay, wow, there you have it. Just a few of the takes I have floating around in my head, and in all honesty, all the things I've talked about here were video topics I wanted to cover this year, but I just couldn't make it work. However, it just didn't sit right with me to just end this year without talking about them at all. Also, I've already started working on the anime year in review video, but I do have some bad news. Unfortunately, Amber couldn't help me out with the video this year, which is a real bummer because all her anime recommendations last year were very unique, and she's always talking about some very interesting anime in the 5 Pillars of Anime Facebook group. So I was very curious to see what she had to recommend to us all this year, but I'll just have to ask her in private. Don't worry though, I have a very good replacement and she's pulling double duty. So stay tuned and I'll have that video ready for you all soon. I'm shooting to have the video ready for you guys by the start of the new year, but we all remember the last time I tried to set a release date for a video. Anyways, embarrassing moments aside, I had a lot of fun with this one, and I think I should make this a regular series on the channel. There are so many things I just want to talk about, but some topics may not be video worthy. Like for example, why didn't Goku and the rest of the Saiyans do the Super Saiyan God ritual for future Trunks before he and Mai were sent to another timeline? I mean, they clearly did it for Vegeta if you watched the Broly movie, so they could have definitely done it for Trunks. By the way, I thought sending him to another timeline was the wrong story decision. Just send him to another planet, and you can just kind of keep him on ice till you need him. But don't get me started on Dragon Ball Super. Thank you all for watching.